Alright, I mean, okay, what's my Baba question. You see if you have your phone with you today, if you could go on the page and see if you see it pop up. Baba question.
That's
Alright. You know, sometimes
this
it's so
page as well.
this is the edifying.
GMS edifying the elect.
Yeah.
I don't know why this can't get we page this page, you know. Again, all kind of things except this page. That's all.
That's
I wouldn't be able to log in if you log in.
nah, it's not like that. You can just go and view the page itself and see. Just now, hold on, huh? Think
That
I'll
was it.
again. Right, it's showing me live, right? Let's making sure, checking the audio, see how it's sounding.
Mm,
Right. Right, sounding nice, right? So you open up and select here for the inconvenience, select here to say Kahalal, Yahweh,
Rabasham Yoshai,
Ba'ashem,
Sham
Rachakodah,
Dash,
double on the apostles, and
Kan,
Elazar, great millstone at Ruel,
Kan,
right? And salutation to the Achaemony world that pushes through to the four corners of the earth, right?
Kan.
There's there's two brothers from the GMS East Camp, right? There's Yaraba,
This is Brother Manatazak.
right? And go through a few precepts talking about the video entitled Beware of Stumbling Blocks. Because we know in this truth, that is something that you will tend to bounce up quite often,
Kan,
right? That is something to always be mindful of. And stumbling blocks could come in any form. Already scripture already say, they say the greater thou art, the more humble thyself,
Kan.
right? I'll get that precept quick because I'll jump in my mind, right? So there's the Ecclesiasticus 3, verse 18. It said, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. Because you'll see, even the wisdom you have in this truth could be a stumbling block onto you if you're not careful. You
Kan.
understand? Majority of things that you'll have you'll have in life could be a block of a block of stumbling, a stone of stumbling to you. So it's how to really be humble and use wisdom in the things that you're doing, that you don't get caught up in the things of this world. Peter men
Kan.
just get caught up in things like material things. They get caught up with women, family. There's be stumbling blocks to them sometimes. Sometimes even their own wisdom, there's be a stumbling block onto them. Right? You'll see like in the scriptures. I think it was Peter who had the thorn, who had the thorn in the flesh. Understand? He was grieved about it. And the most I tell him, that it is sufficient for thee. Let's see if I could get
Kan.
that. Let's see if I could get that quick. All right, there's 2 Corinthians 12. I'll start from 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
It say, it say, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth, but now I forbear. It says, lest any man should think of me above that which he seemeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. That way scripture even talk about that is in Jeremiah. It say to let the rich man not glory in his riches, or the wise man in his wisdom. You understand?
Con,
But he that glorieth, let him glory, let him boast. So like, yeah, let him boast that he knoweth me. Because really and truly, these things is be a even wisdom could be a stumbling block onto you. Riches could be a
con,
stumbling block onto you. You understand? It say verse 7, it say, unless I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations, right? Because in people's eyes he was considered a wise man. It say, there was given to me a thorn in my flesh. Right? And you could tell that he wasn't happy about it. When you
con,
read it, you could tell he wasn't happy. And that way you'll see the Most High is even afflict us in the way that he does. Because one, we has had to pay for the things that we do in this life. And secondly, is to keep us humble.
con.
You understand? See, there was there was given to me a thorn in my flesh. It's a messenger of Satan to buffet me.
Hmm.
I I know whenever Satan visiting you, it's not a happy moment.
Con.
he he don't visit you to say, hey, where's you seen by? You're going, you're cool. Now,
Yeah, he no position to bring good tidings.
God. Anytime he comes is because problems.
Con,
It said a messenger of Satan to buffet me. It said lest I should be exalted above measure. That's why you see even in Romans, if you get that from Bible Kosher, that is Romans I think that Romans 12 verse 3. I think it's 12:3.
Romans 12 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
For I say, through the grace given unto me to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to
Can.
think soberly, according as power had dealt to every man the measure of faith.
It's not to think too highly of yourself that you ought to think. Because a lot of
God,
men just fall out of the truth because of that stumbling block. They just study things like who wiser and who want to be this elder and all this kind of foolishness that not even expedient. You understand? Studying vain stumbling blocks. Right? You say, lest I should be exalted above measure. Verse 8, it say, for this thing I besought the Lord thrice. You understand? So
hmm,
he sing the Lord three times, like, what's going on with this? I fed up with this, boy. Well, wherever it was, I don't know if it was boils, I don't know what it was, but it was, it was, it was annoying to him. You could tell
yeah,
he
it
didn't
was
like
a
it.
fun.
You could tell he didn't like it.
God,
Then it said that it might depart from me. Say, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee. It say, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Really and truly, when a man think himself to be strong, that is when he really weak, because the Lord is your strength. You
God,
understand? So he had to be kept on that base level where his mind wasn't thinking too high of himself. Really and truly, whatever it is he had, it was given to him from the Lord.
God,
And he was always supposed to keep that mindset. That will say, the scriptures say, the Most High resisted the proud, but he giveth grace unto the humble. Those are the ones that he has actually worked with, the ones who humble,
God,
right? They say, so the Lord tell him, you know what? You hold that partner, right? you could you could deal with it. You hold that. They say, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmity, that the power of Mashiach may rest upon me. Because if he was perfectly fine, he had a whole set of money and wisdom, eventually it'll get to your head.
God,
Yeah, you understand? And he'd have start to act like if, like, I's the smartest man in the world. I said, no. The spirit of the Lord has actually moved through us. We in the truth just can't act like, like, hey boy, this the best shit here. No. Because the end of the day, the Most High gave it and the Most High could take it away. If you
Can,
see, yeah, if you see a man being proud, he could take it from you. That way is ready. That is scripture. Is the more you increase in wisdom, is the more humble he has had to be.
can. I have a precept for you there.
Well,
1 Corinthians 10 and 11. Now all these things happened unto them for ensamples, and
can,
they are written for our admonition, upon
can,
whom the ends of the world are come. 12. Wherefore, let him that think he standeth take heed lest he fall.
can,
So it's like the same thing you were saying, you know, you'll get wisdom and thing, and if you think everything good, as much as you think, yeah, you reach. You understand? Take heed because you mightn't even leave yet to say you reach. You understand? And you could end up, that could be a stumbling block.
can,
That's why the scripture say, with all, with the scripture, I forget exactly how it does go in Proverbs, but it say, um, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. You
can,
understand? If you acquire the wisdom, then you'll get the understanding on how to use it then. And not to be boastful and proudful because the scripture also say the most I resist a proud man, a proud spirit.
can.
You understand?
Now you'll see even the scripture also talk about like that I will talk about in Romans to say whatsoever written aforetime written for our learning.
Can,
You'll see even men like David. Then when he was king over Israel and he was a real humble soul.
can.
Yeah, that's how he used to deal with people. Sometimes a man die, he mourn for the man. He didn't bound to study that man. That's the kind
Yeah,
of level of humility he had. You
can.
understand? And he always used to make sure and beg and plead and humble himself. And let me do something, especially do something wrong. He always used to humble himself, and the Lord used to find favor before the Lord. I have a precept for you. So the Ezekiel 3, I'll start from 17, right?
Yeah.
It's a son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Yeah, am I good, right?
Yeah, yeah, good.
It said, therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give warning from me. It said, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, which is what we're doing right now. We making sure and clean our blood off we hand by
Can.
warning the wicked about the things that they shouldn't be doing. Right? Wicked ways. Right. It said to save his life. It said the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require of thine hand. So verse 19 it say, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Now the point I want to make here is in 20, it say again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness. So you say when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, say he shall die. So you'll see the scripture even show you that the Most High is actually lay stumbling blocks before you. And
Can.
if you could get off man like Romans 9, no, Romans 8, I think it's verse 6.
Romans 8 and 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be
That's
spiritually minded is life and peace.
that's not. I think I have it. I think I have it wrong. I think it's 11:6. Salakia, Baba Kosha. I think it's 11, either 5 or 6 it is. That's not. That's not. Verse 9, 11:9. Salakia.
11 and 9. And David said, let the table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
You'll see all over the scriptures that talk about similar things, about stumbling blocks. Like stumbling blocks that it have place for those to fall. Because we know according to prophecy, You'd have some that would not hearken, just like the story of the sower that sowed the word. It have some
Con,
that will straight out not hearken, and then it will have some that will hearken, but then stumbling blocks will cause them to fall off. So okay, and that's the kind of things you always have to try to be in the spirit and be mindful of when it comes to this truth, because those stumbling blocks has come in the subtlest of ways. It's like I I'll always talk about this. Our brother once tell me that he said the longer you're in the truth, is the more subtle the voices in your head does get. You understand? Like something
con,
like something a brother once tell me, and I'll always remember, try to remember that about is so the longer you're in the truth, the more subtle the voices in your head does get, because these spirits living with you every single day. They know you're inside out. So you really have to be
con,
careful of these things. Scriptures talk about these stumbling blocks of your family, your children, your wife. Talk about these stumbling blocks of money
con.
or on material things. All of these things could be stumbling blocks too. And if you're not in the spirit and the most high not working with you, you'll end up falling to them. It's not a precept to get fear. Any precept to bring out?
Yeah, when you're concerning about the there was no talking about it now, right?
Mm.
Ezekiel 14 and 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Son of man, these men have set up their idols in their heart and put the stumbling block of their iniquity before their face. Should I be inquired of at all by them?
God. Okay, even that so-called Caesar Borgia, well, the the idol that that looks like Caesar Borgia. Even that is a stumbling block onto Jake's
Can,
money.
but like why gotta is that it's not even that alone, you know.
Yeah, it's many things.
Is anything that you have in your heart yeah, that not lining up with the scriptures or the most high now, right? You know?
Remember,
Anything you
idol.
put in your, as your priority before the most high.
No, because that what idol is. An idol is
Can,
something that you worship, and an
can,
idol could take the form of anything. It could take the form of a person. It could take the form of a material item. It could take just like how they say American Idol. You understand?
can,
Them is people, but it could take any form. Anything that you love more than the Most High is classed as idolatry.
can, let me finish it, you know.
Okay.
Verse 4. Therefore, speak unto them and say unto them, thus said Yahweh power, every man of the house of Israel that setteth up his idols in his heart, and putteth the stumbling block of iniquity before his face, and commit to the prophet, I, Yahweh, will answer him that cometh according to the multitude of his idols.
Jake heavy in idol worship, especially
Can,
in the kingdom. There was heavy in it before, and say there's no new thing under the sun.
so they still having it now. So you see, go answer them according to every one of the idols.
So, our next one here. City Revelations 2. City Revelations 2 verse start from 14. It say, but I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them and hold the doctrine of Balaam. It say who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel,
Hmm.
to take sacrifice unto idols, and to commit fornication. And we know that is a heavy practice with Jakes these days.
Can,
Just see the other day, those doing carnival. Just now that Easter coming. You understand?
hmm.
All these stumbling blocks is what has caused people to go off. I remember I had a time back in the days. I had a guy. who was teaching the truth, and like he had a problem with not getting to celebrate birthdays, and that was it for he going back. Simple things like not getting to celebrate your birthday was a stumbling block for him, and he like, nah, boy, I like my presents and you
By
understand?
traditional men, yeah, traditional men.
But I had to show you how easy it is. A man could get caught up in these things.
That just to show you how something so what is the word, man? Something so simple could become a stumbling block.
God, you
Something
see, but
so irrelevant and small.
can I Daisy most I will. Okay, remember I have a
Can
script. I'll look in faith in Romans right now. Um, is Romans 1 verse ah Romans 1 verse 21. That's all I'm looking for. Yeah, am I good, right?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. Romans 1 verse 21 it say, because that when they knew power, they glorified him not as power,
Hmm.
neither were thankful. You understand? Because, like I say, men does get caught up in the weirdest things. Sometimes men studying things like rank and all kind of vain things that not even profitable to you.
Can
Like men does feel because they're in a high position here. When they go on the next side, they will be on the top. Because I don't know what is be going through men's head when they're studying these things, but all these things vain. Because the higher you go, is the more responsibility you have, the more
can
people that. Right?
and fellas like they don't even read because in the same revelations, I think it's Revelation 4, it talk about the 24 or the 12 elders.
I think it was more than that. I forget what's the number I call. I forget. I already forget. The ones that is worship at his feet.
Yeah, he talking about
Right.
Moses and them fellas. Them already have the highest rank. Like, you can't get better than them. Let me be real.
But men, remember, men that be thinking vain. Men that
Right
be
now,
thinking vain.
you're just supposed to be fighting for a spot
Just to make
for
just
when
to
the missiles launch. That
just
is
to
all
make
we fighting for. A ride right now. That is all we fighting for. A chariot right now. You
if you
think?
had to see if you had to see a number in their head and they see 1,004 and one 143,999, just be glad.
But you telling me?
It within the number. You understand? But men just get caught up in vain things.
Yeah, man, don't see like that.
Either they get caught up in things like rank, or they start to get caught up in things that the world are not expedient for them.
Can
And that's why wise brothers as always tell you, just like the scriptures say all things are lawful, but all things are
not
not
all things
expedient.
are expedient.
Can because even though something is lawful, that don't mean that you can't get caught up in it. That why you has had to be wise about the things that you choose to do and take part in. Not just because you could do it, that mean you should. If you understand where I'm coming from.
Can
Somebody because not every brother had the same strength when it comes to the spirit. They say every man was given his measure of faith. So every brother's level of faith is not the same.
I have a precept for that exact same thing, say there.
Can
The First Corinthians 8 and 9. But take heed, lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak.
can
You
you see?
understand? It's the
And
same thing like
right,
with Paul and eating the food now, boy.
can
Understand?
they say if a brother a weak heart, don't do it in front of him. You understand?
Exactly because he that go be a stumbling block for he.
Can
You
and
understand?
not only that, but it can only be a stumbling block to others, but it can also be a stumbling block onto yourself. Okay, you could get caught up.
That too. That too.
So yes, he's ready. He's ready how to be wise. You understand? He's ready how to use wisdom. I'll read it over. Romans 1 verse 21. It say, because that when they knew power, they glorified him not as power, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish hearts were darkened. You understand? So our next precept is in Galatians. I think it's to say what they were deceived by the desires of the hearts.
Can
If I could get a Baba question, that is I think like Galatians 4:18, 17 and 18. verse no, I'll jump to verse 24 in the verse 24 in the Romans. It say, wherefore power also gave them up to uncleanness through the lusts of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
What you say it was Galatians
I think
or
I
Ephesians?
think it's Ephesians. Ephesians. I
Yeah,
always get Ephesians and Ephesians mixed up sometimes. Like yeah,
yeah. Ephesians 4 and 17. This I say therefore and testify in Yahweh that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
you
Verse
understand?
18.
Don't get caught up in don't get caught up in vain things, because the vain things in this world is a stumbling block onto you. That's why you say yeah, you say that's not a whole lot of precept quick. I want to get one for you.
Yeah,
John John 17. I'll start from 15, right? It say, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. You
can,
understand? So that is where it is he'll be praying for. Not to, because we had to stay here and enjoy these things and we had to prophesy, so we had to stay here. You understand? Until our time is fulfilled. But you say, pray not that he take we out of the world, but keep we from the evil, from actually getting caught up in the things that are not expedient for you and actually cause you to stumble and fall out.
can.
And that's what he just pray for his men. Verse 16 is say, they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. So you that's like what you're talking about where you say, walk not as other Gentiles are walked. Right, go ahead.
Verse 18. Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of power through the
Come.
ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their heart.
And that plain. You didn't have to go to no complicated breakdown to explain that to somebody. And
Can,
a lot of people I just talk to in this world, like you know that sometimes you bring scriptures out for 2/3. You know, show them certain things, even though you could tell, the end gain it. Sometimes I still throw one or two things to see what if they catch it on. And there's
can,
always the same thing. There's always focus on the own desires. Sometimes simple stumbling blocks as Esau can't make it. Even simple things like that are stumbling blocks on the people out here.
can. Because
You
God
could,
say he love everybody, but God love everybody.
that is a stumbling block onto them because they hold fast to the teaching that they was given growing up. So
Can,
they refuse to believe that the Most High is love and hate. You
can.
understand?
You can't, but you can't put new wine in a old vessel and wax. So,
And
what you gonna do?
but this class is mainly for like men who have understanding to be aware of the different things that has come to you on a daily basis. Always try to use wisdom
Can be
because
circumspect about everything.
can because stumbling blocks has come in the simplest ways, and it
Can,
have very efficient effects. Very efficient effects. I tell you.
can,
It's always had to be wise and observant about these things. Make sure you always try to stay in the spirit. There's a man is always recommend you fast, you pray, and you always try to make yourself useful. That is a saying that I just have. Cause as I always say, a servant that ain't doing the job is a useless servant. So as a servant, always try to do your job. Always try to make yourself useful. You see, even the elders will say similar things. Try to make yourself useful to the brotherhood.
can,
Try to do what is necessary of you. You understand? At the end of the day, like I say, as a servant, he's a workman of the Most High. Always try to put in that work. Always try to so that the Most High will be able to preserve you for when stumbling blocks do come around. If you read if you read that same Corinthians, the First Corinthians 10, if you read the verse 13, Baba Kosha,
1 Corinthians 10 and 13.
yeah,
They had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But
Can.
but power is faithful, will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape that ye may be able to bear it.
So once you actually stay in accordance with the Lord, He will always be with you. You understand? And that is one of the things as men of the Lord we has been working towards. So once we stay in the Spirit, once we keep doing all these things, when that time come, He will deliver us from any temptation that had to take us, that will actually cause us to fall. Okay, He said the men that He preserved, He say He's faithful that He would not cause them to be tempted above that which they are able. And that is something you always had to be working towards, and something you always had to have faith towards. I have one last precept here. I know if you have any after. Say
Well,
the, the Revelations 3 verse 10. It say, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. And this word of his patience is what? Is to have our faith and to also do the things that are commanded of you.
can,
Right? Say, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, it say, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell on the earth. And we know that severe time ain't even reached yet.
can,
You understand? So we supposed to be making sure and putting that work now, so that when that time come, we will be able to obtain mercy. That He will be able to be with us when it is temptation come, even now, or in that great time to come. That He'll always deliver us out of it. It's like how you see He was always with Job, and Job went through real shit. You understand? But He was always with him.
can. It was perfect, and watch what you went
Can,
through.
can.
You
But the
understand?
Lord,
So,
go ahead.
so that just goes to show the 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 harder your trials and the temptation, that just mean the more refined you is then, or the more refined you will become through it now, boy.
Can,
You understand? Because the scriptures say, as gold is tried in fire, so is acceptable men. You understand? Try through the furnace of affliction. So if you have
can.
affliction, hard, I mean, better you will be able to say, well, you're real accepted then. You understand? Because the more precious the jewel, the more harder the hotter the furnace, basically.
And like I could say, just the fact that you'll be able to get through it means
Can't.
that the Lord is with you. Because there are a lot of people in this world who I see that go through a lot of afflictions, and they knows nothing about the Lord. And in their head, they on point in it.
You tell it. Hey, but actually, tell me what I work with one of them. I
You
work with
understand?
one.
So the ready and truly to actually be in the street and understand these things, and be going through this affliction and understanding the correct thing. Not to say like you're like you're getting afflicted and you think you're gonna get 72 virgins. You understand? You actually know what it is the Most High have in store for us. The only way you'll be able to get through that is if the Most High actually with you. Because He say He wouldn't give you more than you're able. So you always have to try to stay in the spirit and do what is required of you, so that you could find favor in the sight of the Lord.
Can't.
Alright? So that when temptation do arise, the Spirit of the Lord will be with you to protect you from it. The scriptures say, it said, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil.
Mm.
Right? Any precepts? If any brothers on the comment board, I use my phone and my laptop inside, so I'm not getting to see any comments. So you forgive me for that Bible question. I can't see no comments or nothing. I using my phone just like he using something else. Any more precepts on that? Or we'll close off.
Nah, go ahead, man.
All right. Anyway, we'll close off with that, right? And with that, you'll say Kahalal,
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'asham,
Basha,
Yahushai,
Basha,
Ba'asham, Wakar Kodash, right? Double honors the apostles and
Khan,
elders of Great Millstone that rule well,
Khan,
and peace and salutation to the Akim around the world that push the truth and sincerity.
Khan.
Right? Brothers, stay strong. Shalom.
Shalom.